muchachos, welcome here. My name is Therese. This is my 4th pregnancy, and ever since my first pregnancy, I have had pelvic pain, pubic bone pain, and everyone told me in that pregnancy, it's gonna probably get worse from every pregnancy, and they were so very accurate about that. I'm 23, 24 weeks pregnant with my 4th baby, and I'm really thankful where I am at now, because even a couple months ago, I was not okay. I wasn't able to stand. I wasn't able to properly walk. I couldn't get in and out of a car without wincing. Sleeping was a joke. My pelvis was not okay. And I was able to really just go with the flow for all my other pregnancies when it came to that area. But this time around, I really felt debilitated and mildly embarrassed about what I was going through. There was just so many things that I couldn't do. I said no to going on a ton of walks. I said no to seeing people because I was like, I don't know if I can drive. I don't know if I can actually get my kids out of the car. I don't know if I can walk. So I went from this point of just really being unable to do your basic everyday things to now being able to get out, do things, and not have fear over my pelvis pain. So for today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys just everything that I wish I knew at the beginning of this pregnancy when it came to just pelvic pain, pubic bone pain. There's a lot I've learned. There's a lot I want to share. I'm not a doctor. I did not go to school for this. This is just a personal preference experience, kind of like firsthand, maybe a bit of a testimonial of where I came from, pelvic pain wise, to where I'm at now and how I got here. So check with your doctor or your midwife or whoever before doing these things, but you may just enjoy kind of listening and getting an idea of what you can do, like step 1. I hope this is helpful to someone, if not like a lot of people. Thank you for being here, and let's go ahead and get started. At the beginning of this pregnancy, or at the beginning of kind of like my pelvic pain, I literally feared getting to this size in my pregnancy because I didn't know how I was gonna be able to make it or do it. And here I am, 20, after even just like your 2nd kid, you're like, how pregnant am I? I'm 24 weeks pregnant, and I'm feeling really, really good. So I hope this gives some hope to some people. The first thing that I want to talk about is professional help. I know we can really rely on Dr. Google, put in our symptoms, and then just trust what other people say. Maybe you found this video from Dr. Google. Again, check with a professional. But there is nothing wrong with taking some money and putting it towards something that's going to make you figure out what's going on with your body. So I'm gonna go over quickly what I have done for professional help, which is 3 different people, and maybe you can kind of decipher what would work best for you. So firstly is my prenatal chiropractor. I have been seeing my prenatal chiropractor for years. I took Ivy to her when she was a baby because she had really bad colic, and then when I was pregnant with Calvin, I had her adjust me, and same with Elizabeth and with this one. So what I love about my prenatal chiropractor is she isn't bent on cracking your bones and being super scary. When I tell people I go to a chiropractor, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, like it can sound a little bit intimidating, but she's very gentle but somehow extremely effective in adjusting my body and making me feel really good. Her technique is not scary or invasive, and I know every prenatal chiropractor is different, but that's just been my experience. In the description box, if you're a local, I can link all my professional help if you want to check them out for yourselves. She pretty much will feel around my body and go, oh, this needs to be adjusted, and adjust it. And for me, it's mostly my spine and my pelvic area. She corrected my back pain. Since going to her, my labors have been amazing. I think a chiropractor is a great place to start if you are having pain in your pregnancy. No matter what kind of a pain, it's a great way to kind of seek professional help, like step 1. And then from there, if you feel like, I feel like I'm missing something, I feel like I can get some extra help from some other people, then you can go ahead and do that. So from my chiropractor, I was feeling good, and then at about 16 weeks pregnant, I went, you know what? I really need to go ahead and see a pelvic floor specialist. I need to talk to someone who has done a lot more schooling, more specific, I guess, to the pelvic floor, and also just get their opinion. So I went to a pelvic floor specialist, and one of the things like I was really hoping for and I got was an internal exam. My chiropractor does, it's all external stuff in the sense that there's no internal exams. It's just not something that most chiropractors do, which I totally get. But a pelvic floor specialist, they really know their way around the pelvic floor, and sometimes an internal exam can really help them see a problem. That was my case. So my pelvic floor specialist did external exams, pretty much told me everything my chiropractor has told me or has adjusted me for. So then we did an internal exam, and she noticed how flippin' tight my vag was. There's so many muscles in your vag, and she was putting mild, like she was literally just doing this on some of these muscles, and I was like, I'm going to pass out. Like, this feels horrible. So painful. And I was like, oh my goodness. So this is what she realized. After doing that, she felt the inside of my thighs, which were also extremely tight. So if you have extremely tight inner thighs with an extremely tight vag, they're doing this tug-of-war with each other, which is not good for your pelvis, which can cause pelvis separation, which is what I have. So my pubic bone separation is not huge like some people's. I would say it's just kind of like your basic pubic bone separation kind of thing. It's still extremely painful, but it wasn't so bad where she looked at it and went, oh, I don't know. Like, she was like, we can fix this. So by me stretching the inside of my thighs, learning to really release through my vag, and then also working on really stabilizing and pulling up through my core and abdominals, we are putting less pressure on my pelvis and my pubic bone and giving me way less pain, if not no pain, to deal with on a daily basis. Lastly, I saw a prenatal coach. I have not seen a prenatal coach face-to-face here in this pregnancy, but I have talked to a few. But previously with Ivy and Calvin and Elizabeth, I saw a prenatal coach, and they pretty much helped me with exercises to do for my pelvis, my pubic bone separation, and I found that very helpful. They felt my body in a very similar way that my chiropractor did. I addressed some concerns, and then they kind of just fitted a program for me that would work really well. And I just remembered my pelvic floor specialist also did a very similar thing where she gave me like an exercise program to do every single day, which I am doing and finding extremely helpful. And most of what she shared is also what my prenatal fitness coach shared too. That was my professional help. I love all those ladies. I literally could not be standing here without them. So I really encourage you to seek professional help. But I understand maybe it's too expensive, maybe you're just kind of nervous. And if so, keep on watching. There's still some things that you can do that's really going to help your pelvis pain. I'm gonna take you guys to sit down on the couch because I feel like sitting down now. I have my book full of my things that I want to talk to you guys about. So, some things I would not recommend doing if you are experiencing just like pubic bone pain, because your pubic bone can separate. It can even chafe on itself. It can also feel very like thin and kind of fragile. So these are some certain things that I do not do because they really trigger pain. But again, you're just kind of like, if you're going through your day and you're going, oh, I just did this and it hurt, modify what you're doing or just try to completely stop what you're doing. Your body is just telling you through pain, it's in pain and something's not right. So remember that. Firstly, I do not put all or most of my weight on just one foot. That causes your pelvis to try to stabilize itself, but if it's not strong or if it's opened or twisting, it's gonna cause some pain. Pushing things with your lower half. We have this ottoman and I used to be able to like push it with my leg, not anymore. When I get out of a car, I used to be able to push the door open with my leg, not anymore. This is huge, but laying down with your knees and your feet separated or on different levels. So I used to sleep with like one leg like this and one leg like this. It's like the gecko position. I can't do that anymore. I have to make sure that both of my knees are kind of on the same level. Both of my feet are on the same level. I still sleep with a pillow, or I have my pregnancy pillow that goes in between my legs. So my legs are separated, but they're not on different levels. Next, and I wish I knew this because it would have saved me from a lot of pain, but excess waddling or excessive waddling. Just when I have a spare waddle. So I used to waddle out a lot at the beginning of this pregnancy because it was the only thing that really suppressed my pain through my pelvis area. But by doing that, you're creating more of a gap and you're loosening your pelvis. So I was told to walk with my legs as together as possible. It's gonna be painful for the first bit, but it's gonna be good for later. And you're just making sure your pelvis is being kept in a neutral position versus kind of open or a lot of like movement. Next is wearing overly tight clothing. There's a difference between tight clothing and supportive clothing. I have some supportive leggings and a belly band, which I'll talk about in a bit, but you can tell there's a difference between support and tight. If you're wearing something tight kind of around your hips, like I'm really thinking like jeans, even maternity jeans can be really tight. It's gonna just force your pelvis to be in an awkward position. My prenatal coach told me this, and it can encourage just your pelvis to freak out. And wearing overly tight clothing isn't good anyways. And lastly, it's just carrying and lifting items, especially going up or down something. So I can't carry my groceries upstairs. I can't do it anymore, and that's okay. So my husband does it, or if I have to do it, I take it in very small loads. I can't lift my kids anymore, which is hard, but I know every single time I lift them, the pain I feel through my pelvis is so bad. It's just so much easier if I could just like sit with them versus lift them up and pick them up. So those are a bunch of things that I do not do that just trigger a lot of pain, bring on a lot of pain or discomfort. Those are all things that I think most people will do in their daily lives, and it's taken a while and it's still taking me some time to really adjust, but we're getting there and I'm feeling good. Next, I'm gonna talk about some things that I do to reduce pain. Number one is my pregnancy pillow. It is like that sausage pregnancy pillow by BB Hug Me. I prefer this for my pelvic pain over a U-shaped pregnancy pillow because it's easier to move around this thing in bed. It's way more full. It's way more supportive. This is such a key item for me. Next is to wear a belly band or supportive clothes. Something I was told by my prenatal coach was don't rely on these items. If I'm having a hard day, I'm gonna strap on my belly band because it's gonna make my day a little bit easier. But I'm not going to wear it 24/7 because my body is going to start to rely on those kind of things and then release things such as its abdominal muscles and your natural core function. So you just want to give yourself some grace on some days and wear those kind of supportive items. And then the rest of the time, really just work on pulling your abdominals up and carrying your baby like that. Next is to sit forward. You can even buy cushions that have a bit of like a angle on them, so it's pushing you forward. Slumping can help your pelvis to shift, and it's also just bad posture, but sitting more forward, like right on your sit bones, is the ultimate way to sit, especially if you have pelvic pain. Heating the area, icing the area. I love taking baths almost every single night. If you have pelvic issues, you can maybe get swollen, which I do. So icing and heating for really just small amounts of time, 5 to 10 minutes. You don't want to do anything insane and not put it on your belly, but on your pubic bone so it's not affecting your baby. I find a lot of relief in that. Next is to have someone lift your belly. It's not going to cause this great change that's going to last a long time, but it's gonna give you a couple minutes where you can breathe and relax your body a bit. I get my husband to do this and he lifts my belly from behind, and it just takes off a lot of weight on my pelvic bone and pubic bone, and it feels great. You can also go on all fours. My sister taught me this. If the mom goes on all fours, let her belly hang, and then take a big scarf or piece of fabric and have the husband wrap it around and lift the belly up. It feels so good, and it's just a little bit of relief that you may just need. And next is this workout and stretch portion that I'm gonna share with you guys. I have 4 low impact workouts and 4 stretches that I do that I was recommended to do. These have made a world of difference, so let me show you. So this first exercise is really simple, but it's great for engaging your abdominals and supporting baby. So this is me relaxed, and then you're going to see I'm going to pull my belly button upwards, kind of towards the back of my spine. That's my visual. And then I'm going to release. This is pretty much a safe ab move that you can do in pregnancy. And the reason it's so great is that it's engaging your abdominals, which is going to help your body hold your baby and carry the weight of your baby better and take a lot of the weight off of your pelvis and pubic bone area. So I do this sometimes throughout the day, most of the time just like my usual set in the morning. As I am breathing in, I am releasing my belly, and as I am breathing out, I am engaging my core. This next exercise I really enjoy. You can kind of see my hand doing that motion of pulling my belly button up, and that's just me engaging my core. So these are pelvic tilts. If you look at my belly, you can see me releasing, me engaging my core, and tilting my pelvis upward. This is a small movement, but so extremely effective. This is something that you want to do with your back completely on the ground. You don't want any space between your back and your mat or the carpet. And you want to do this slowly and again, incorporate your breaths into it as well. Next is a pelvic tilt going up to a bit of a bridge and a bit of weight work. So I'm performing a pelvic tilt, and then I'm using my core to push up and stabilize. And I'm just taking some 2-3 pound weights, really light, and putting them behind my head and pulling them back to the front of my body. This is such, again, an easy, low impact, small type of workout or exercise, but so effective at taking a lot of weight off of your pelvis and pubic bone. The more you do it, the stronger your belly is going to be at carrying your baby. And your baby is growing and getting ever bigger. So you want your core to be continually stronger as you go through your pregnancy as much as you can. Next, going on all fours, and again, we are just engaging my belly. I love this exercise because you're working against gravity a little bit more. You're also pushing the mat away, so you're working a bit of your shoulders, and it's the same thing. Releasing the belly and breathing in, and as you breathe out, you're pulling your abdominals up. This is something that'll actually give you quite a good burn, and it's simple, it's easy to do. You can put a book or a phone in front of you and do this and watch something or read something. It's simple, and I really like this one. Okay, so I have very tight, like what I said, inner thighs and even my hips and lower back. So this butterfly stretch is simple to do, just leaning forward with my feet together, my knees apart. And if you're curious how I do these exercises, I hold each one for 30 seconds, rest for 10 seconds, and then I repeat it 6 times. That goes for my exercises as well as my stretches. I find it's not a very long time to do it. I can usually tackle this between 20 and 30 minutes every single morning, and I really enjoy it. And next, I am doing the happy baby stretch. This is perfect because of my super tight inner thighs. This releases so much pain. This feels good. And because my really tight inner thighs are kind of pulling on my pelvis and my pubic bone, by doing this and releasing them, the amount of pain that has been released by doing this move is absolutely insane. And it's also just kind of comfy. I really like it. Lastly, again, for my lower back, my hips, and my inner thighs, the child's pose, but I am opening my legs up so my belly can either hang or I can engage my belly here. I will do this kind of as the end of my routine. I'll rock forward a little bit, I'll go back into the position, and I just find this is a nice way to end my routine and feel really good. And that pretty much just concludes today's video. I hope that it was helpful and informative. I feel like at the beginning of this journey, I just really want to know where to start and what to do, and kind of, I guess, hear someone's testimonial of where they came from and where they're at now and how they got there. So I hope that this helps somebody out there. I understand this kind of stuff can take time, money, energy, and I want to let you know that you are worth all those things, and you deserve to put all those things to good use for your benefit and just to feel really awesome, whether you're pregnant or not. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!